Hello, I'm Kathy Rouse, Human Resources Program Analyst. Today I'm going to walk you through the Munis approval process for performance management. In Munis, the approvals are the final steps of the performance management process. With the completion of the approval process, performance information will be ready and available for each employee to view. Before we get started, it's important to understand your role as a Munis approver versus your role as a supervisor, actually rating or documenting performance. As a supervisor, you'll be setting goals, documenting performance, and finally rating individuals throughout the year. To do this, you will want to access the forms through the Self-Services portal, as explained in another training. The Self-Services portal will give you all of the necessary instructions and guidelines to completing these forms. As a Munis approver, you will be reviewing another supervisor's performance documentation and approving it. Your approval is the equivalent to your signature on a paper document. Depending on your department, you may have multiple levels of signatures, with the final approval being the department head or elected official. Typically, only Munis approvers have access to information through this desktop application. So if you are a supervisor but not an approver, you will not be able to access this application and will need to refer to the separate training on performance management through the Self-Services portal. In this process, we will show you how to use the Munis desktop application to review, edit, and approve or reject any performance document. When documents need approval, you will receive an email from the Munis workflow. If you are an approver for other things such as payroll or purchasing, you may receive numerous emails from Workflow. We suggest creating an Outlook rule to help organize and track your required approvals. For performance management, the subject line will read Employee Evaluation Notification. The body of this email will give you the information needed to find, review, and approve the correct record. This email will tell you the employee and the employee number, the review type, and the review period. To begin approving records, you will need to open the Munis application. In your internet browser, you will go to the web address listed on your screen. If you haven't already, you should save this in your favorites or as a shortcut on your desktop, as you may be finding yourself here often, especially at the end of the annual rating period. Once you have opened the Munis application, you will need to locate the employee evaluations. To find this initially, select Tyler menu in the upper right-hand corner. Employee evaluations can be found by selecting Human Resources/Payroll, then select Human Resources, then select Reviews/Evaluations/Surveys, and finally select Employee Evaluations. Once you have located Employee Evaluations on the menu, you can hover over this and right-click with your mouse. By selecting Add to My Favorites, you will place this in the left-hand menu for quicker location in the future. In Employee Evaluations, you will see a screen like this one. We have been storing performance records in here for almost 12 years. For some departments, that means there could be over 2,000 records in the system already. Your ability to filter and search will become very important. Let's take a look at some tips and techniques that will have you searching in the Munis application like a pro. Number 1. Munis searches the indicated field for an exact match, meaning if you misspell a name or type it in the wrong field, you will not locate the record. We recommend searching for the employee number instead of the name to avoid the misspelling problem. But if you are searching on the name, remember the asterisk can be used as a wildcard. If you are unsure of the complete spelling, type in what you know or only a few letters, followed by the asterisk symbol. This will produce more records, but should have the one that you are looking for in the group. You can use the asterisk preceding or following the letters to indicate where the missing letters are. Number 2. Make sure you are in the correct field. You will not locate the record if you are typing the last name in the field marked for the first name. Number 3. Use the drop-down menus where available to make sure the search spelling is correct. Number 4. You can use the greater than or less than symbols in front of a date. This will produce all records either preceding, less than, or following greater than the date you select. Number 5, workflow status. For those records needing approval, the workflow status will display X- in progress. Number 6, use multiple fields to narrow your search more efficiently. By entering search criteria in as many fields as you can, your search should produce fewer records, possibly just the one record that you need. We suggest using any or all of the following: the employee number, workflow status, review type, and at least one date of the review period. To search for a record, first select the magnifying glass. Remember the email that you received earlier? This will give you all of the information needed to filter your records effectively. In the body of the email, you will find the employee name. The number immediately preceding that name is the employee number. The email only lists the code under the review type. To search using this field, just type in the 2 to 4-digit code listed on the email and hit Tab. This will autofill the rest of the review type. The email also lists the review period. While you don't need to enter both dates in the search, entering at least the beginning date is helpful. Once you have entered all your search criteria, select the green check mark. If your search produces multiple records, you will see a record indicator at the bottom of the screen. You may use the arrow keys to scroll through the records to find the one you need. If there are multiple records returned, the one you need will more than likely be close to the last record. It may save you some time if you click on the record selection arrow that is farthest to the right. This will move you to the last record. From there, you can scroll through them backwards if needed. Once you have located the document needing approval, you will review its individual sections. In the next few minutes, I will walk you through the 5 areas that you will be able to review information and how to edit and add information from the specific Munis application. The 5 areas include the 4 tabs labeled Review, Recommendation, Evaluation, and Goals. And finally, under a separate menu item, you'll be able to view the logged performance events. The Review tab. On the Review tab, you will find the basic information regarding the type of performance document, the position being reviewed, and the review period dates. You will also find the total score given and overall comments by the supervisor. If you would like to edit or add to the overall comments, simply select the Overall button below Employee Comments. This will open up a dialog box. Make your edits or add comments and close the dialog box by selecting the X in the right-hand corner. This will then prompt you to save your changes. Select Yes to save. If this is an evaluation, you will see the total score of their ratings. To calculate the average, you will need to divide the total score by 17. A total score of 51 averages to a 3.0. And is considered to be a passing score or a good rating. The Recommendation tab. The only information to be found on the Recommendation tab is the name or names of the supervisors completing the document. This will be listed in the box labeled Recommendations. The Evaluation tab. You will find all 17 competencies, their ratings, score, and any comments on this tab. Simply scroll up or down to review these ratings. If you would like to edit or add comments here, double-click on the competency. This will open up a dialog box. Make your edits or add your comments and select X in the right-hand corner. This will then prompt you to save the changes. Select Yes to save. If you would like to edit an actual rating, on the ribbon select Update. This will produce a warning that you will need to reset workflow. If you make changes here, this will have to go back through any and all approval levels. Select Yes to change or select No to cancel and return to the review screen. We will cover resetting the workflow in a moment. By selecting Yes, you will be able to edit the ratings of any of the competencies. Once you have made changes, select the green check and accept and save. The Goals tab. Here you can review all of the goals that were set for the employee as well as any comments entered by the supervisor. To add or edit these comments, you will follow the same procedures as we did for the competency ratings. Select Update from the ribbon. With the warning pop-up, select Yes to change or select No to cancel and return to the review screen. By selecting Yes, you will be able to edit the goals. Once you have made the changes, select the green check to accept and save. Performance events. To review the performance event log, you will need to select Events from the ribbon. This will open up the event log for this performance evaluation. Please note, if you are a police department employee, there is a separate record that contains the event log for employees. A dialog box will open up listing any and all events entered for this period. From this dialog box, you can double-click any event to add or edit comments. Once you have made your edits, select the X in the right-hand corner. You will then be prompted to save the record. Now that you have reviewed and made any edits to the evaluation or agreement, you will either approve the record or be required to re-release the record through the approvals. It will be clear that you need to do this because of the warning the system gives you when you try to update the certain parts of the record. You will only need to select Release if you have stopped workflow, causing the approval buttons to be grayed out. If the approval button is grayed out, you will need to re-release it through the approvers. After you have made all of the changes to the record, select More from the menu ribbon, then select Release. This will cause the record to begin the approval process again. New emails will be generated as well. Once you approve the record, an email will be sent to the next in line in your approval process. If you are the department head or elected official, once you select Approve, the record is available for the employee to review on his or her self-services portal. As the approvals are being completed, we ask that you communicate this with your employees so that they can be watching for their review. When the final approval has occurred, employees will then review their evaluation from their own self-services portal. Once they review the document, they will then be able to make comments and acknowledge the receipt of the evaluation. Please remember, acknowledgement of the evaluation does not indicate agreement with the evaluation. It simply acknowledges the receipt of it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact Human Resources at 949-7320.